Heads up, listener discretion advised, could result in family game nights or competitive lawn mowing.
Hey, welcome to Dad's Space. Yeah, it's a podcast for dads by dads. Probably one of the most fun podcasts that I have in my lineup of podcasts. Yeah, I have several. This one, special, because it's for dads. This is the only podcast that I have that's for dads, by the way. Just in case you're wondering, you're like, what if Dave has any more podcasts about dad stuff? No, this is the only one is Dad's Space. It's the podcast for dads by dads. If you're a dad, hi. If you're not a dad, hello. And if you're just listening to see if this is even worth your time, then I promise to impress you. Somehow. Thank you for listening to Dad's Space. It's March DadNess. It's not March Madness. No, it's March DadNess. 5 episodes this March here, where we're going to take sporting world and bring it into DadNess, and it's all about you. So I'm glad you're here. Thanks for pressing play. So last episode we talked about the draft. You got called up, right, to the big leagues. You're a dad now. Oh yeah. And you are given this title. Kind of like, when they put the jersey on the player who gets called up from the minor leagues up to play for the big team. We're in the big leagues now. Yeah. For me, my point of reference would be more hockey because I'm in Canada. We don't call it ice hockey, by the way. That's ridiculous. It's just hockey. And that's what I think of when I'm thinking about getting called up. Now, I know there's football, baseball, soccer, football, US, UK, football, whatever. There's all these different sports, right? And they all have their version of the draft. And we talked about that last episode. So if you haven't heard that one, then why are you here? Well, you should go back and listen to that. You can stay. But you should go back and listen because that's kind of the beginning of the process. Today we're talking more about the regular season and just for us as a dad showing up consistently in how we play this game called Fatherhood. And I'm excited you're here. I think this is going to be really fun. I just want to point out the blatant obvious fact here. Now, we have a YouTube channel for Dad Space. It's just the podcast. It's available on YouTube. And here's a sobering stat for you. 1% of you, the audience, is actually subscribed to the channel. 99% of you are not. Wow. So for that 1% of people who follow the YouTube channel, I know we don't talk about it often, but it's there. And I'd love to see that 99% change to maybe subscribed. So I don't know. I don't know what I need to do to impress you much to go there and subscribe to the channel, but you get everything for the show on YouTube. So if you prefer YouTube, where they're in audio format, there's a few video things here and there, but primarily just audio. Let's be honest. You're not watching the screen anyway. You're not. You're on your phone. You're playing Angry Birds or something. You're not watching the screen. No, you're not. So the fact that it's audio only, it's okay. It's all right. We didn't break anything. We'd love for you to go subscribe, follow, hit the bell, do all the things they tell you to do on YouTube. But did you know that we're there? Well, 99% of you have no sweet clue because you're not subscribed to my channel. So I'm just putting that out there. Hopefully somebody feels compelled to go subscribe on YouTube. So please, dadspace.ca, all the links are there. Come to our YouTube channel, please. I'm alone here with my 1% of the audience. So come see us. I'd love to have you join us. Yeah. Now back to the podcast. When it comes to sports, championships are not won in the spotlight moments. They are forged on the field in the grind of the regular season. Yeah. Those 82 game stretches where teams build their habits, their trust, and their identity in fatherhood. It actually works in almost the same way. Most of parenting isn't buzzer beaters or highlight reel heroics. It's the ordinary Tuesdays with rides to practice. It's taking the garbage to the curb. It's the homework battles. It's bedtime stories. It's bath time. It's quiet car talks on the way home from school. This is where you show up week after week, turning small little deposits of time and connection into unbreakable foundation for your family's championship run. Consistency always beats intensity every single time as a dad. You know, those flashy plays, yeah, they're great. They grab headlines. They get on the best of top 10 moments in sports. But no team wins a title on talent alone. NBA contenders like the Celtics or the Warriors, they dominate because they execute the fundamentals night after night. Defense, rebounding, ball movement. Without fanfare, they just do the thing. Dads, your intensity in big moments matters, but it's the power of actually showing up consistently that shapes your kids. Skip the grand gestures if they fizzle. Instead, nail the daily reps. That nightly, how was your day question. That consistent, I'm proud of you. After a tough loss, those compound like free throws at crunch time. One explosive dad rant or over-the-top celebration fades fast, but a steady presence. Just you being you. You being there. You being fully there. Not distracted you. Real you. Being there. That wins. And those kinds of wins, that's what seasons are made out of. Those small deposits build unbreakable trust between you and your kids. Think of trust like a team's chemistry for a second, all right? It grows from countless huddles, not one viral dunk, not one grand slam home run, right? Every time you follow through, being there for pickup time, helping them with their math, even when you're tired and you don't even know what kind of math they're doing, or just sitting there with your favorite show on, you're making a deposit into your life of your kids. Kids don't remember the one epic camping trip as much as they remember you never missing their games. These are little micro moments, and they create security for your kids. When your kids can truly believe, because they have evidence, that dad's got my back, over time, they bank enough trust to come to you during the real storms, the real heartbreak, the real failure, the real tough choices, the mistakes that they make. And if you miss too many of these moments with your kids, they start to withdraw, and it erodes your connection with your kids, that bond. And your losing streak starts to kick in. Build in those small deposits with your kids. I think that's really a key for parenting. When my oldest son, my firstborn, was young, little, there's like a 5-year gap between him and our daughter, the next in line. So we had him for a while. And so I was just the dad of one, and it was overwhelming yet fun. And what I would do is I would take him out on Saturday mornings when my wife would be resting, sleeping. She'd have the house to herself. Whatever she wants to do, she could just, the house was quiet. She could just sit there and stare out the window just to get some mental time back, or whatever sleep in, whatever you want to do. But I just grabbed my son. We'd go to McDonald's, have a play area or something. We'd go watch hockey. We just get out of the house. We go have some time. We walk the beach. We play at a park. We do something. Just get him out of the house. And I can tell you that my son probably doesn't remember every Saturday with dad. I do, but I'm sure he doesn't. And for me, it was a chance to bond with my son. It was a chance to show up and make him my priority in a world where the whole world encroaches on every part of my time. I set that aside and made small, tiny deposits that seemed insignificant at the moment because it was done in a heartbeat, and you're back at home again, and off we go to do the chores of the day. But for me, it was intentional. It was something that I look forward to every week. I built it into my calendar. I made it a priority. I missed a few. Yeah, I did. But I loved every time that I had time with him. And then you start adding other kids onto the mix and you're like, this is really tough. But for him, when I first started out, I needed that. And as a new dad, if you have young ones in your house, especially if you're just your first one, please create that calendar event, that specific time and date on a regular rotation for the two of you just to hang out and be a dad. The best thing I ever did was create those small deposits with my kids. I think presence overweighs performance as a dad. When my kids were little, I spent a lot of time in the car commuting. I live in southern Ontario and I would drive to Toronto. Sometimes it would be 2 to 3 hours one way just to get to work. And then in the winter in Canada, it's ridiculous. 4 hours, 5 hours to get to work, just to get there. And then you work an 8-10 hour shift and then you drive home again in the same weather. That's exhausting. And by the time you roll back into the house is quiet, the kids are in bed. You missed a whole day. You just feel so guilty and you feel so disconnected from everything that's happened in the house. And my wife is frustrated and tired and exhausted. And she just looks at me like, you're going to keep doing these shifts? Are you going to keep driving this far? I'm no good from a distance. I can't pop home and check on the kids. I'm too far away. And in those moments, I really longed for being more present with my kids, like more in their world. You don't need to be a most valuable player and have those kind of stats to be an all-star dad. The scouts that are up in the stands watching you as a dad, they value players who show up ready. They're ready for every game. Your kid doesn't need you coaching their team to victory. They just need you in the stands. Eyes locked on them, win or lose, there's my dad. Presence means being emotionally available. Doesn't mean that you need to be perfect. Put down that phone during dinner and ask about their friend's drama. Ask about things that they're celebrating. And the effort is more important than the score, no matter what you're talking about. It's like the backup point guard who runs the offense flawlessly, unsung, but essential. Your steady energy anchors them when life starts to get super chaotic. You need to just be there. And you're like, this seems like so simple. Just be there. That's all I got to do. Yeah. It's going to mean so much for them. You simply being there and being all there. One of my favorite things for dads, wherever you are, be all there. That's super important. Rhythms that anchor your performance, your influence on your own home court. It's your home court advantage. Great teams thrive on rituals. Pre-game shoot-arounds, film sessions, post-win handshakes, celebrations they do, traditions. Great teams thrive on rituals. As a dad, create rhythms that make your home feel safe. Weekly no-screen family nights, morning coffee chats, or Sunday walks. These aren't flashy. They're the pulse of your household. Like a coach's clipboard plays, they signal reliability. They signal that you're involving your kids in building the team, your home. What if we make Pizza Fridays our thing? Consistency turns house into home, giving everyone a court where they belong. When I was in public school growing up, my dad worked at an auto shop, like a body shop. He was a manager. And he'd bring home cars all during the week. Corvettes, all kinds of stuff, like beautiful cars. And he'd bring them home and we'd get to go for drives in these. But every Friday was family dinner out night, and we would go do our grocery shopping that night as well. And I always got a Hot Wheels car. I was back in the 70s. So I was getting the cars that everybody collects now. They were just under $1. But that was the thing. Every Friday, dinner, groceries, Hot Wheels car. I could count on it. And then every Wednesday, Thursday, I knew Friday was coming. It was the best thing. It was something that I could count on. And that was our home court advantage, was the routine and the anticipation that I have time with my family. So what's your home court routine? How are you celebrating? What are your rituals? Because great teams thrive on rituals. The parenting parallel here. Identity in the grind as a dad. Championship identity forms in the regular season monotony, not in the playoffs. Teams that gel through the 40 to 50 win slogs become dynasties. And your consistency becomes your child's security blanket. They're proof that you're not going anywhere. They internalize it. Dad shows up, so I can too. And this builds their grit. This helps teach them that championships come from grinding ordinary days, not just the big wins, not just the highlight moments. Parenting happens in the daily, everyday grind. And that's where a team is built, and that's where a team gels during the regular season. What's our key takeaway here for our March DadNess? Embrace the regular season grind. This isn't something to avoid, to speed through, to get to the fun part. This is where it counts. And your consistent presence in the boring middle builds trust. It helps your kids form identity, and it helps your family win championships that outlast any single highlight. Dads, face up, lace up. It's time. Game is on, and we need you in the regular season, in all of those regular moments, and all of the things that seem small and insignificant in that point of time. That's where the winning happens, not just in the playoffs. It all happens in the regular season. Remember, championships are not won in the spotlight moments. And a team is built over the long haul of the regular season. Get out there. Game's starting. Kids need you. Thanks for listening. Hey, dads, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of the podcast. Thank you for following the show. I'd encourage you to do just so if you haven't done so already. Look at your phone. There's like a little follow button or subscribe, or I don't know what it says on your screen, but there's like a little button at the top of the screen. You click that button. That means every time a new episode of Dad Space shows up, it goes right to your phone. It's waiting for you whenever you're ready. So you don't have to try to remember, what's the name of that show? Space Dad? No, Dad Space. It'll show up right there for you if you follow the show. That'd be great. If you listen on Spotify, like I do, I'm a Spotify user. You can actually leave a comment in every episode, and I will respond as your faithful host to any comments you leave in the episodes. So please jump in. Love to read your comments, your thoughts about the episode. That'd be fun. And if ever you just want to just hang out with another dad, you got a few moments on your time in your day, in your week, and you're like, I'd just like to grab a virtual coffee with Dave. You can always buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com, but you could also just join me for a virtual coffee and we could just chat about dad stuff. I'm always looking forward to meet the people who listen to this show. That brings me a lot of joy. So dadspace.ca, all the information in the show notes. And thank you for being here. And thank you for sharing this podcast with one other dad. I really appreciate you. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you on the next episode. Take care.